Hey there, YouTube! Darryl back at you again for another episode of Darryl's Vape Tape. So we're back. We're back once again, folks. How's everybody doing today? It's Hump Day, Wednesday. Hopefully everybody's doing good. And today we're going to be doing another sub-ohm showdown. And these are probably two of my favorite sub-ohm tanks right now on the market, alright? The Playboy Vixen Mini and the Herkales Plus, alright? So now these two tanks, there's a lot of similarities. The coils, roughly about the same. The airflow, honestly, they're pretty comparable. And cloud production's pretty comparable. Flavor, I think I know which one I get better flavor out of, but this is what it's about today. We're going to test these two tanks out. We're going to max them out, and we're going to see which one performs best, okay? So we're going to be looking at a couple different categories, all right? So we're definitely going to be checking out the coils, the price point and what you get in the package, airflow, flavor, and cloud production, all right? So those are 5 different categories that we're going to be looking at today, all right? So I do want to say that these definitely are two awesome tanks. So either one, whichever one wins this competition here, I still think either one of these tanks are awesome and they perform great, all right? So the first thing I want to look at is I want to look at the coils. So why don't we go ahead and dive down up close and take a look at those coils. Alrighty, so we're looking at these two coils right now, and you can see on the right side here, this would be the Playboy Vixen Mini coil, and on the left side, you got the Herkales Plus coil. Now, these are both 0.2 coils, and you can see, let's look at the Herkales Plus first. Okay, it's got 4 wicking holes on there, alright, so pretty much the same as the Playboy Vixen. Even though the Playboy Vixen's a round circle, it's massive holes on each coil. I mean, these are about the same size. They're just a little longer, all right? Now, on the bottom, there's a little difference. There's 2 air hole slots right here on the bottom, all right? And on this Playboy Vixen coil, there's actually 4 of them, okay? So, honestly, about the same air hole because these two right here are just way open. I mean, it's just all open right there. So, this one's a little bit more closed off, but there is a little bit more holes, okay? And as far as the innards here, they're both dual parallel vertical coils, alright, and you can see the inside of that one right there. Pretty nice coil, alright? And a lot of the reason why this coil is bigger is because there's a lot of unused metal right up here on top, alright? On this Playboy, or on this Herkales Plus coil, you can see there's hardly any unused metal on that. So honestly, the coils are really identically about the same size. You can see the difference here on the top. There's that little screen right there on top. So the Playboy Vixen coil definitely doesn't have that in there. It's just straight cotton. Now, I don't know why they have that. Maybe that's like an anti-spit back thing. I don't really know why that screen's in there, but it's definitely in there, alright? And that's pretty much about it. I mean, each coil, they're each good from 30 to 80 watts. These are both the 0.2 coils, alright? And they're both pretty damn similar. The only thing I really don't like is either of them don't go in each tank. So I can't put this coil in the Herkales Plus, and I can't put this Herkales Plus coil in the Playboy Vixen tank. So that's definitely the only difference between either of them, right? So why don't we go ahead and take it back up top? Alrighty, so we just got done looking at the up close and personal with both the coils. And honestly, it's kind of a toss-up. They're really almost identical. I mean, the wicking holes, little different shape, but the coil itself is pretty much the same, alright? And them both being 0.2 coils, both 30 to 80 watts, I mean, pretty close, alright? So they're both about the same. I mean, the only really con I could say, and it's about the Herkales Plus coil, is the Herkales Plus does not take Atlanta-style coils, which everybody knows is the most popular coil on the market. So the Playboy Vixen tank, it takes all Atlanta-style coils, which is a nice bonus. It's a good feature to have, alright? So where I want to start out next is I want to try to get a good feel for which one has better flavor, alright? So both tanks are filled up with some glass milk, so I'll get a good, presentation of what the flavor is going to be in each, and I vape on that shit all the time, so I definitely know what it's supposed to taste like, alright? So we're going to start out with the Playboy Vixen Mini, and we're going to run it at 50 watts, alright? 0.2 coil. Let's take a vape. Have the airflow wide open, and the flavor's pretty kick-ass. Yeah, pretty kick-ass flavor. And the Herkales Plus, I have the top airflow closed because I can't really open it up. It'd make an unfair advantage on the Herkales Plus. So let's go ahead and take a vape. Honestly, both tanks are pretty good flavor, but honestly, I have to give the flavor to the Herkales Plus. Definitely a lot better flavor there. Alright, it's a lot more prominent. The strawberries and cream that out of the milk is a lot more there. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ramp both these guys up all the way to 80 watts and see which one has better cloud production. Taking the Herkales Plus right now to 80 watts. And Playboy Vixen, we'll take that up to 80 watts. Alright, so we're at 80 watts on the Playboy Vixen. Let's take a vape. Yeah, pretty good cloud production. Alright, Herkales Plus, 80 watts. Let's take a vape. Man, that is a really good close-up. Honestly, like, both tanks have pretty similar cloud production. I mean, honestly, I think if I was to open the airflow up on the top of the Herkales Plus, I think it would produce a little better cloud production because there's more airflow. Alright, the Playboy Vixen has really good airflow. It has that triangle theory airflow. Really good airflow, but I'm going to have to give cloud production to the Herkales Plus. The only reason is because I could open the top up and open the airflow up a lot more, and I think I would get a lot more cloud production if I was to do that, alright? So cloud production, flavor, goes to the Herkales Plus, and the coil so far goes with the Playboy Vixen, alright? So let's talk kits, alright? So the price point on the Playboy Vixen is $29.99. You get a backup coil and one of these backup drip tips right here, okay? That's what you get with the Playboy Vixen. Now with the Herkales Plus, you get a backup glass and a backup coil. Alright? So pretty similar, but I'm going to have to give that also to the Herkales Plus because you get a backup glass with it. Now if they would have put a backup glass with this guy, I would go with the Playboy Vixen, but they didn't. So that's definitely a con for me. You have to have a backup glass in there. I mean, I don't know how many times, at least 5 times since I've been vaping, I broke a glass that goes with these tanks. So I got to give it to the Herkales Plus on the kit and the price point, because the price point on the Herkales Plus is about $24.99. So you're saving $5, you're getting a backup glass. All right. So definitely Herkales Plus. So 3 out of 4 categories so far, the Herkales Plus takes it, alright? And overall, I'm gonna have to give it to the Herkales Plus. It's a fucking badass tank. I love this fucking tank. Out of any other tank that I have, I use this tank out of any of them. Now, the Playboy Vixen, I'm not taking anything away from it. It's still a badass little tank, alright? Now, size comparison, I mean, the Playboy Vixen, it's a mini, so it's a little smaller. It's not much smaller, but it is a little smaller, okay? So, I mean, if you're looking for a stealthy, more smaller vape, this is still a really good vape. It just doesn't hold a candle to the Herkales Plus. I mean, the flavor, the cloud production, the coils that it has for it, it has this 0.4 coil that I can ramp up to 100 watts. I mean, I'm more of a high wattage guy, so I like that 0.4 coil. So, honestly, Herkales Plus takes the cake, alright? So, one more thing I want to mention about this Playboy Vixen. I never did a 1-month update or anything like that. I hate this fucking drip tip right here. Alright? I hate it. It gets some juice in there, and this thing doesn't even hardly go on there. I mean, it just pulls off really easy, it doesn't even have any pull on there. So, I gotta put that as another con. I didn't mention that really when I did the review, so I just wanted to mention that and let you guys know. It's a shitty drip tip, alright? So, I mean, the Herkales Plus, I can change this out. Like, right now I have that Copodrinity drip tip on here, and I can't change a drip tip on here. So, but, I mean, I think that's pretty much going to sum it up for me today. So, in the links down there in the description, I'll put the Playboy Vixen Mini and the Herkales Plus. Both really good vapes, but in this competition, the Herkales Plus takes the cake all the way around. I mean, the only thing that the Playboy Vixen has against the Herkales Plus, I guess, is the Playboy Vixen takes Atlanta style coils. That's it. That's the only digressor that I found that the Playboy Vixen is better than the Herkales Plus, alright? But still both really good vapes. So that's going to pretty much sum it up for me today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Go ahead and like this video. And, just remember, vape on YouTube.